Yes? Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen.
In other words, what they're afraid you're going to say.
No.
Only kidding with you.
My name is Cynthia Ann Wilkins. My legal address in Carver Township is 3081 English Creek Avenue in the Key City section. I have just two questions, and none are for you tonight, sir. They're for John Carmen.
Okay.
Could you tell me what your legal address is in Carver Township?
My mailing address is 89
Your
Zion
legal
Road.
address that would appear on your driver's license.
89 Zion Road.
Okay. Does that house on 89 Zion Road have a CO?
No, it doesn't.
Is that the residence, a legal residence, from which that you reside? Not where you receive your mail, but is that?
I'm not saying a word. I'm just chuckling. It's
When we come up and we must give our legal addresses of where we reside or what property we own, I've now designated that 3081 is my legal address from which my driver's license, from which my casino license is, from which any and all federal income taxes, state income taxes, or any other legal documents that I should have to apply for would have that address. So I repeat the question. Is 89 Zion Road your legal address?
Yes, it is, and at this time it is being worked on, and I am residing next door.
Okay. The reason I asked that question is, if the property does not have a CO, you cannot live in that property of 89 Zion Road. However, on your documents, and these documents were notarized by Mrs. Norma Lombardi, your legal address is 89 Zion Road.
Yes.
All right, let me repeat. How do I address this? On your
Cynthia, you know the man's
Cynthia,
building
I
his
don't-
home, for
I am
God's sake. He's living with his
No,
mom.
that's okay.
This is ridiculous.
Cindy,
It's ridiculous. You're just making a political moron statement.
Please don't. I'm not running for politics. I happen to...
The man's living with his mother while he's building a brand new home, and he works 50 and 60 hours a week. Why would you question that?
I have a feeling you're going to get this way. It's a very simple
You're
question.
darn right I'm going to get this way. The man's building it with his own hands.
All right, since...
Jake, let her finish.
Let me just finish.
Go back with your henchmen.
I think, though, that what you've now said is quite uncalled for.
I think what you're saying is quite uncalled
I'm
for.
asking a question.
No, you're trying to embarrass someone
No,
who's
I am
building
not.
his own home. And I think he's commendable for building his own home with his own two hands, and he's living with his mother.
Why are you going around the subject?
Because you know what that's happened, Cynthia. You know what the man's doing. You're just trying to embarrass him, and I don't like
I'm
that.
only asking a question. Do I not have a legal right as a taxpayer in Carver Township of legal standing and using that as my legal address? If I was going to run for office, would you not say to me, Cindy, what is your legal address?
That's the man's address. He just told you
89.
that.
That property does not have a CO.
Because it's under
I
construction.
understand that. But if the permit was issued on
God.
March the 19th of 2003, and I am now standing here on October the 25th of 2006, I don't know why you won't let John answer. And I apologize.
I will
for that,
answer.
because I want to look at you because I didn't understand the outburst. My only question of it is, if it's not your legal address, then not to use it. The question being, 89 is not the legal address. The reason I have it is, my question is more or less this. Given the fact that you have an appraised value, you have a home that you're building, yes, to be commendable, given the fact that the home is over 2,700 square foot, how is it that your taxes in 2006 were only $883.42?
Obviously, I'm being taxed on the land and not the improvements because it's not finished and I am not living there.
My only other question has gotten to way over out of everybody's hands. The reason I ask that question is, when these numbers come up in front of us, we know in November, in addition to voting, which is my obligation and right, we also have the obligation to pay our taxes on November the 1st. It's the only reason I'm asking the question. This property now so listed, but when you go into these, and I'm known to do this quite frequently, because I'm always looking to see what homes are selling for, what property values are selling for. It makes only what I would say, not my stupidity, political mistake. It's just a question because when I see that on here, they already listed as having 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, and you only have to pay $883. What I'm looking forward to is that reappraisal, God forbid we should say it, that hits us in 2008, so that I can already say, here's other properties that we can assess it to. No, I don't have a 2,700 square foot house. I have a 1,000 square foot house with 1 bathroom that was built by my uncle's great hands as he worked as a union electrician 56 years ago. But my question only is, if 89 is not the address, would you not agree that if it's not where you put your head, that's not your legal address?
Unfortunately, it's taken me a lot longer to complete that project than I anticipated.
Does the township not have any kind of, does the township not have any problems? Like, if I've never built in a township, I've never had that opportunity. I'm lucky I got sewage done, I haven't had it. I don't even have sewage on English Creek Road, so how would I be able to build? Given that, isn't there not a time frame, is it, in 3 years, the house is done, what does the township do?
As long as you continue inspections, you have to be making progress on it. You have to be making progress.
Some work must be performed once a year.
You have
As
to-
long as there is work being done once a year.
And believe me, if you
You're-
teamed up with my
you're allowed to
wife,
keep the permit
she
valid.
would love you for bringing this and trying to spur me up and hurry me up.
It wasn't.
Believe me.
I didn't appreciate Mr. Glassey, I need to stand on record. I have been more appreciative of your help when you did help Ivan's Avenue with sewage. I have
You're
been
right.
very appreciative and worked very hard on Sunday's ad hoc drainage water committee.
You weren't going to say my campaign, were you?
Yeah, she almost did.
No. I thought I was...
That Freudian
Cynthia,
stuff,
may I
I don't do anything political, and you know what? I have lived here for 49 years, and if you please, I've never been rude to you.
Cynthia, you said the man doesn't lay his head at that, so it can't legally be. How about all the bums and street people in Atlantic City that use the Atlantic City Library and City Hall as their address so they can vote? They sure don't lay their head there. So that is his legal address, period. And you knew that when you came
No,
in
I
here.
didn't. How would I know that?
Because you're a very intelligent woman, that's why you knew that.
No, I only know things because I go digging into things to find them.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe
No,
me?
I don't, I believe you knew
Well, I
exactly
have
what you were
a
asking.
conversation with you.
That's
And
fine.
Anyhow, you
Does that answer your question?
Is there anybody else in the public who would like to speak on